Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to do the final issue, part 4 of the 4-part series of AQUAMAN Time and Tide by Peter David. Let's get into it. This issue was amazing. Can't recommend this whole series as highly enough, but this issue number 4 was really good too. It starts off, we got Orm, Ocean Master, has got Aqualad and Aquaman strung upside down in a submarine, got him captured. Then it skips back to past time where Aquaman's talking about his relationship with Orm, Ocean Master, and how they're destined to be enemies and feuds together. He keeps going back through. He's writing this in a diary, and he's trying to write about his relationship with Orm, and he's got a writer's block. So we keep going, and then it skips back to past, and it introduces Aquaman and Mera's baby, Aqua Baby, and how he was born. So it turns into a celebration of Aqua Baby being born and Aquaman being king, and making it a celebration with the people of Atlantis. Sorry, and here Aqualad says, "Arthur Jr., why not Aqua Baby?" And Mera says, "Oh, please, Garth, I'm lucky the world media hasn't started calling me Aqua Wife." So I thought that was pretty funny. So we skip ahead, and Aquaman celebrating with his people and Volko, and they're just celebrating and talking about the joys of bringing the Aqua Baby into the world. And then Ocean Master shows up, and at this point nobody knows who this Ocean Master is because he's got his mask on, and he tries to threaten Aquaman and challenge him for the throne, and Aquaman does a bit of reverse psychology on him and says, "Take it. I don't want it. If you want it, you can have it." And it catches Orm off guard, and he's not sure whether Aquaman's playing a trick on him or not. So we keep going, and then he says, "I'm going to challenge you for kingship, fight to the death." And then that's when, at this stage, Orm he's inexperienced, and Aquaman just beats him down and makes a fool of him. And he pretty much sends Orm packing with his tail between his legs. He makes him look silly and embarrasses Orm. Orm wasn't expecting it. So we keep going, and then but Arthur let Orm go when Mira and Aqualad and his people and Volko think he should have punished him. He should have put him in prison for trying to assassinate the king of Atlantis. So we keep going, and then Aquaman's sleeping, and he talks about how he's sleeping soundly, dreaming, and having a good night's sleep, while Mira's restless and up with the baby, and agitated and restless about what happened with Orm earlier. And then Aqualad here, he's getting busy with his girlfriend here, and then all of a sudden something happens, and Aqualad's screaming out for Aquaman, and there's a submarine headed for the dome over Atlantis, and it fires off a torpedo. So then Aquaman and Aqualad go to the rescue, and then the submarine fires off another torpedo, and this is where it's. And then Aqualad says, "You know what? I think these are actually supposed to be gifts for Junior," referring to the baby boy that was just born. Aquaman's like, "Gifts? Torpedoes as gifts?" And Aqualad says, "Yeah, well, some people have a knack for shopping." And Aquaman says, "As gifts go, I can't say I see much else for it." And then Aquaman says, "And that being the case, Garth, I can only see one reasonable option." And Garth says, "You mean?" And "That's right, let's return it." And then Aqualad says, "You realise, of course, we don't have a receipt." And Aquaman says, somehow I don't think that would be a problem. So they turn the torpedo back around on the submarine and blow it open, and then they storm in, and it turns out it's Ocean Master, and it was a trap for Aquaman. So now they've got Aquaman. We get back to where the start of the book started. He's got him chained up, hanging upside down, and they're arguing, and Orm says, "Thank you for the first hard lesson you gave me, Aquaman. I did not anticipate the reaction you'd have to my challenge. It cost me a loss of faith. Then again, I am new to my intended sovereignty and have not yet learned to account for all eventualities." And Aquaman says, "I let him chatter on, half listening to his story of how he was misunderstood, how his parents didn't appreciate him. How we all know how Orm has these parent issues. I didn't let on when I realised his relationship with my grandfather. Besides, I was busy testing the chain strength." And then, eventually though, he stopped talking and stalling for a time. I asked, "What interest of any of this supposed to be for me?" And he takes his mask off and reveals himself as Orm in the previous issue when they were in Alaska. So then Aquaman's realised who he is, and then they're going on and talking, and and this is where Arthur's realised, going through his history book here, that Orm had the same father, that twisted creature with the blonde hair, I think, in the second issue, and he's realised that they've got two different mothers, but they've got the same father, so they're destined for feuds and destined to be enemies for forever. So eventually Aquaman, he breaks the shackles, breaks the chains, and he says, "I don't want to listen to your deluded life story, and I don't want to tolerate your attacks. What I want, Ocean Master, is your head." So he whacks him with the butt of the gun, and then something happens and the submarine shakes, and we get Mera, sexy Mera here, and she's doing her manipulation of water, and she says, "All right, Ocean Master, you're done. Did you seriously think my husband was the only threat you had to deal with? That my hard water abilities were less formidable than those powers of Aquaman command? Or maybe you just figured he keeps me around for my looks." I love that line, because everybody knows how, Mera, she's red hair and sexy, but she's also a badass. So then she saves him, and then somehow she falls down, and Aquaman comes out to save her, and he says, "Didn't the doctor tell you to stay off your fins for a few tides?" And they save each other, and they realise that Orm's escaped, and he's let his men die, because Orm had a way to be able to breathe underwater. He obviously had a mask or something that helps him breathe, where his men didn't. So Orm just left his men to die and left. And Mera says, "Drowned. Whatever way Ocean Master managed to breathe underwater, obviously didn't he share with his men?" And she says, he left his own men to die. What kind of monster is he?" And Arthur says, "I don't know." And then we come in, next last page, and Aquaman, he's haunted that he told Mera he didn't know who Orm was, but in reality, he's his half brother, and he didn't know how to tell her. And then that's how it ends. And then it goes, after this book, it leads into Peter David's issue run from 1994. I think it's 75 issues. I think Peter David done 50 of them. So I look forward to reading that one. I've read most of it, but I haven't read it all. So I'm going back through and getting filler issues so I can fill my collection and do some reviews on that. That's it. That was the 4-issue Peter David run. I liked it. This is the first time I've read the Time and Tide mini-series. Really liked it. This was my favourite issue, the ending one with Orm and Mera and the baby and things like that. So if you're into Aquaman and you like old, you want to read old stuff, you don't want to read the new stuff that DC's putting out, go back and read the Aquaman from the early days. The 1996 was a mini series. 1989 had a mini series. 1991 was his first ongoing series, apart from the original Aquaman ongoing. And 91, I think, was a 13-issue mini series. And then it went into Time and Tide, and then it goes into Peter David's 94 run with the Hook Hand. So that's it. That's I think of this run. It's been good. If you like the channel and like the content, please like and subscribe and share it. Helps me bring attention to the channel, and we'll grow the channel together. That's it. Thanks for watching. See ya.